the mother's spirit haunts her little son. And after her every visit, the boy finds himself in deadly danger. Don't miss out. Does the late mother really want to take her son to the other world? This is Psychic Investigations, a channel of true stories. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants investigate resonant criminal cases and mysterious anomalies. This is Ivan Malaman. He's 8 years old and he's from Ukraine. He's in 3rd grade and wants to be president. However, the boy's family are afraid to have hopes for such a distant future, as recently something has been happening to Ivan, after which he finds himself one step away from death.
When he's sick, it's never a mere cold or flu or bronchitis. If he's ill, it's always something grave.
Ivan's mother died last year from lung cancer. His father left his family even before the boy was born, and so his aunt raises him, and she's extremely worried about him.
I don't know what to do and where to go.
It all started last year. At night, while Ivan was sleeping in his room, the wardrobe suddenly fell on him.
It fell. I don't get how it happened. He broke both his arms.
How is it possible that the wardrobe that had been in the room for years suddenly fell on the child? The boy claims that he saw a dark silhouette in his room right before it happened.
It was a woman. She was calling me somewhere, but I refused to go with her.
No sooner had the boy recovered from the incident when another misfortune that almost killed him happened to him.
Ivan had salmonellosis.
Salmonellosis is an inflammatory condition affecting the intestines. A patient becomes dehydrated.
Immediately after the treatment ended, the boy's life was in danger again. This time, he had meningitis.
Meningitis causes inflammatory changes in the membranes covering the brain and spinal cord. It can cause loss of consciousness and spasms. In extreme cases, it may be lethal.
The boy was saved. The boy's family say the incidents began last year, after Ivan's mother passed away. But the most peculiar thing is that before every injury or illness, Ivan sees his late mother in his dreams.
He said he'd seen his mom in a dream. I asked what was in it. He said she grabbed him and ran.
I heard Mom calling me. When I closed my eyes, I saw her somewhere around.
Recently, the late Olha has also begun haunting Victoria in her dreams.
I had a dream of Olha walking along the hall and going outside. She took Ivan and sat down on the stairs with him. She hugged him and told him something, but I didn't hear what she was saying.
She tried to tell me something, but I couldn't hear her.
Victoria fears that the boy's mother is trying to take him to the world of the dead, and the next time they can be too late to save Ivan.
I beg the psychics to come and help me. They are my last hope.
Clairvoyant Olena Kurilova and Molfar Olena Stetsenko undertook to help Ivan.
I had a dream. There was a strange room and fire started burning on its floor, closing a circle. And in the middle of the circle, there was this boy. He was tracing his finger along the floor, and the flames made numbers, looking like 16 and 76.
I see a man next to the boy. The man has his face covered with cracks, and I see embers glowing through the cracks. He's by the child all the time, and he puts the boy's life in danger.
What do the psychic's eerie visions mean? What is threatening the boy's life? Ivan's aunt and the boy himself meet clairvoyants in the park not far from their home. The boy often goes for a walk there.
Hello? I've been looking forward to meeting you. I prayed. I wanted you to come and help us so much.
I need to check through these stones if he's got a connection with the world of the dead. Close them in your hand.
I'm scared.
I saw a large black raven flying over Ivan. Then it vanished.
Ivan, can I have the stones? They're ice cold. It only happens when somebody is surrounded by a dead person's energy.
I feel a scent. It's a perfume with citrus notes.
It's Mom's perfume. It smells like oranges.
It turned out that Ivan feels the scent of his late mother's perfume almost every day. And at night, she visits him in his dreams, which provokes new challenges for the 8-year-old boy.
What was your mom's name?
Olha.
She's worried about money. She fears you may not have enough to raise him.
Olha was a sales assistant at a clothing store. Unfortunately, her private life didn't go well, and so she raised her son alone. She dedicated her life to his welfare.
She was young and beautiful. I want my mom back.
Death took Olha too soon. She was only 28.
This is Mom and me. She holds me next to the Christmas tree. She gave me this race car as a New Year present. It reminds me of her.
I told Olha, you won't die, you will live. I was sure she would live a long life, but it happened the other way round.
Ivan, go play.
Did you treat her like your daughter?
I had a custody over her.
Victoria's life wasn't easy. She doesn't remember her father, and her mother died. Her both elder brothers married and lived separately, and so Victoria stayed alone with 3 younger siblings. Back then, she was adult, so she became a guard for her younger brother and sisters.
It was hard, very hard. Olha helped me and I could rely on her.
While we were sitting on the bench and Ivan was playing on the playground, I noticed Olha's spirit behind the boy.
You know, Olha is trying to tell him something, but she can't.
Ivan's mother was weeping. She begged, "Help me. I don't want his death. Not me."
Olha's spirit showed me a bizarre picture. She was sitting at a table in a room and a dog attacked her. But the dog wasn't alive. It was burning with flames. The dog. Before her death, Olha saw the flaming dog.
Yes, Olha saw it in her dreams. She said, there's this big dog. It's sitting and looking at me with its large eyes. I saw fire.
It often happens that before someone dies in their dreams, they're visited by angels of death or their assistants, which are called guides. And the flaming dog was one of such guides. They can take up any form. They show the dying person the way to the other world.
It's terrifying, but the boy said he'd seen the flaming dog in his dream the other night.
Did the dog drag you somewhere?
Yes, the dog was barking and biting me. It was flaming. And it had red eyes.
I was shocked to hear what Ivan told us. It meant he could die any moment.
Olena, what is it?
Don't approach me, don't approach me. Take Ivan away. I saw the black raven again. It had red eyes like flames. It was a spirit. I felt hatred, anger, and at the same time, unbearable suffering. And that was it. Then the vision ended abruptly.
Olha's spirit was whispering to me, "This spirit visited me, and now it's haunting my son. Save my child."
Being in the other world, Olha did everything she could to protect her child from what had killed her.
There is some kind of secret. It's connected with Olha. I see pictures. I see a building. It's tall. It's an apartment building, and its walls are white and blue.
This is where I live.
We must go there.
Oh, my goodness.
The green grass is burning.
It's unusual, as it had rained in the morning, and the ground remained damp.
When I turned around, I was struck. For a heartbeat, I saw Victoria's face and body burning too. She was shrouded in flames.
We noticed that Victoria felt unwell and started trembling.
I don't know why I'm trembling. I can't explain it.
But the strangest thing of all was that Victoria remembered she'd experienced something similar in the morning before the psychics arrived. And then, for some reason, wallpapers started burning in her apartment.
This morning, the wallpaper in the kitchen caught fire. I don't know why. There was nobody in the kitchen.
They noticed and extinguished the fire in time. Could it be a mere coincidence?
I feel the smell of burning again.
And again, everybody felt the specific scent. It was coming from the outside.
The van is on fire.
Oh God.
Don't approach it.
It can't be real. The engine of the van in which the psychics had arrived started burning suddenly. Luckily, the driver was nearby, and he extinguished the fire. The vehicle had no apparent damage to it. Nobody knows what caused it.
It's got something to do with fire. It's terrifying. Ivan is in real danger. I see the boy. His back is on fire.
We were shocked. It turned out that a few weeks before, a power outage happened in the apartment where Ivan and his aunt live. They burned candles, but one of them suddenly fell on the boy's back. His clothes caught fire. Fortunately, they extinguished the fire quickly.
Fire. It's been haunting your bloodline, your family.
A man's spirit emerged behind Victoria. He was whispering to me that he'd been killed by fire. He embraced Victoria and said, "She and I are one."
I had a feeling of something close by behind me.
I saw a grave and green trees around it. It was a large stele.
It's my uncle. He's got a large tombstone. It's gray. He crashed while driving a tanker truck, and he burned alive.
Victoria and Olha's late uncle, Victor, died tragically when he was 30. On his way back from work, his tanker truck overturned and started burning. The door got blocked, and the driver, unable to get out of the vehicle, burned alive.
Let's go to the cemetery, quick. We need to see your uncle's grave. You're trembling terribly. What is this?
When the Molfar began tuning in, the magic bouquet in her hands suddenly burned. The psychic barely extinguished the fire.
Suddenly, when I turned to Victoria, I saw flames on her shoulders. It was a vision. It looked like she was the fire herself. And another odd thing was that whenever something burned nearby, she began trembling.
During the investigation, something burned whenever Victoria was near or she was nervous. It couldn't be a coincidence.
The fire starts every time she's nervous, anxious, or angry. Something strange happened on this grave.
It's been unearthed. It was unsealed. When somebody is buried, a priest reads a prayer over the grave to seal it. It is done so the spirit of a dead person doesn't harm the living. When you come to a sealed grave, it's got an energy dome over it. But there was none over Victor's grave. It's been unsealed.
My grandpa and another uncle unearthed it. Because grandpa had bad nightmares.
After he was buried, the dead son began haunting his father, asking him to bring him his favorite suit. The man didn't hesitate to go to the cemetery to unearth the grave and put the suit in it.
When the dead visit their relatives in their dreams, asking them for something, they shouldn't unearth the grave and open up the casket. It's enough to put the things on top of the grave.
Was it when you were born?
Yes.
It turned out that Victoria was born on the day when her grandfather unearthed her uncle's grave. But how is it connected to the fire that's following her everywhere?
You were named after the man who burned in the tanker truck.
Yes.
Victoria.
When parents name their child after their late relative, they bind the child's energy to that of the dead person.
But in case with Victoria, something absolutely incredible happened. The newborn girl was named after her deceased uncle, and on the day when she was born, his grave was unsealed. Because of this, the dead man's spirit was free to roam the world.
The spirit possessed her, it recreated itself in her.
Each time Victoria has an emotional outburst, the spirit bound to her feels it, and fire starts burning. The reason is that her uncle died in fire. You need to ask a priest how to seal the grave and have a remembrance service at the church. Thus, you'll protect yourself and your name.
And then I realized who was the man I'd seen next to Yvonne while I was working with the photo. It was Victoria and Olha's uncle. However, he wasn't the spirit. That took the life of the boy's mom and is now trying to kill him.
When we were at the cemetery, I heard a female voice calling, "See the numbers, see the numbers." And I saw a woman. Wait. She's sitting on a chair holding a board on her lap. There's something written on it. Let me see it. Light the fire. I clearly saw 76. What does 76 mean in your life?
It's the number of my apartment.
Wait up, what does 16 mean?
On the 4th floor. In the next block,
There's apartment 16.
yes, a woman from there died in fire. A young woman.
As it turned out, the tragedy occurred 2 years ago. A couple lived in the apartment number 16. The man was jealous of his partner and strangled her. And then, to cover up the traces of the murder, he set the apartment on fire. The woman and Yvonne's mom were best friends.
I felt fear and guilt emanating from Olha's spirit. And these feelings emerged whenever she thought of the apartment 16. We need to see it, or at least approach the apartment in which the woman burned. But first, I'd like to check your apartment.
I'm going to that other apartment to see what's there.
I see Olha.
This is her room.
May I come in? I have a feeling of very strong pain. She died here. Give me Olha's portrait. What are you trying to tell me, Olha? I hurt. I won't forgive you. She's not forgiven. By a fiery spirit. Could it be the woman who burned? What was Olha doing? What's the board for?
I have no idea what it's for.
It's a board for summoning spirits.
She summoned spirits.
These are Victoria's bothers, Alexander and Pavlo. They've just come back from work. They say they saw Olha summon spirits with the board many times.
I won't forgive Olha. I hurt.
Who says that?
The one she summoned. Let's find Olena. What's there? Tell me.
I was where the woman had burned, and her spirit said, "I won't forgive. I hurt."
I saw a spiritism ceremony. She conducted it. And the woman, she's restless. She was disturbed before 40 days passed. She involuntarily disturbed the spirit. The raven I saw all the time, the one that was flying over the boy in circles, wishing for revenge, was the spirit of Olha's late friend. Disturbing a spirit before the 40 days after a person's death pass means bringing it an ordeal. The spirit can't rest then, and it hurts badly.
The spirit is avenging, trying to take away the child. Because Ivan is Olha's child, her blood runs in him.
Give me water from your house, bring it here, and I'll put a protection spell. Stand over here. Ivan, come over here. Let me wash your face.
How are you? How do you feel?
I'm fine.
It's such a relief. Thank you. Thank you for coming and helping us.
It's unbelievable. Due to the failed magic ritual, the woman condemned herself and her child to death. Fortunately, the psychics prevented one more tragedy from happening.
A mystical force is starving a young woman and draining her life away. You will be shocked to learn the origin of this terrifying illness. Don't miss out. The psychics will reveal the story of a deadly betrayal. Alina Hetmanska contacted the psychics asking for help. She is only 25, but a rare illness, achalasia, is killing her slowly. Alina can't eat.
This is the procedure they perform on me every day. The drips are my breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
For several years now, Alina has been fed through IV drips. There is no unscarred area left on her arms due to the medical needles.
The esophagus transitions into the stomach, and in this area, connective tissue begins to form. Why it forms there remains a mystery, but this tissue keeps growing, compressing the esophagus itself.
It's the same feeling as if someone grabbed you by the throat and started choking you.
The medics are baffled as to why this disease has appeared in someone so young.
Typically, people well over 40 get this disease.
This is the unique case when the illness developed in someone that young.
And the illness is extremely rare. Only one person out of 100,000 gets it.
It all began 4 years ago, at night, when Alina saw some kind of ghost right in her room.
I woke up and saw someone staring at me.
By the next morning, Alina couldn't even swallow a spoonful of porridge.
I started eating, and it felt like it was stuck in my throat and choking me.
From then on, Alina's constant struggle for survival began. She underwent surgery to remove the excess tissue from her esophagus and widen the passage to her stomach. But after each surgery, the excess tissue kept growing back again and again.
In her case, there has been no sign of improvement.
As such, the hospital ward became a new home for Alina.
I don't know how to living, and I have no idea what will be tomorrow.
Her illness has destroyed all her hopes. I think there's no worse punishment, and I have no idea why this happened.
She's in the hospital most of the time. So many doctors have tried to cure this illness, but nothing helps.
In addition, almost every night, Alina wakes up feeling a cold breath near her.
I think there is someone here. Someone else lives here with us.
And almost every time this unknown entity appears near Alina, she nearly dies.
My blood vessels burst, and I bled. The ambulance took me to the hospital, and they supported me with IV drips.
The doctors say that while Alina's body is still young, she can hold on for a little longer. But the outlook is extremely grim. Moreover, they have forbidden her from having children.
She can't eat properly, so how will she nourish her baby? A pregnant woman must receive proper nutrition. She herself doesn't get it. If the mother doesn't receive it, the baby won't either, and it will be born unhealthy.
The psychics are her last hope.
I need you to help me. I want to live a normal life.
Our project's experts, Anna Galliers and Sofia Litvinova, immediately responded to Alina's letter. The psychics meet in the park near the hospital. There, Alina is being given another IV drip,
to help her stay on her feet during filming.
Sophia, a few days ago I almost died in the forest. I was visiting my friends in Ukraine. We were out of town and I had a vision. I saw a woman with long white hair. Her eyes were glassy and piercingly cold, and her eyelashes were white. She was like the Snow Queen. She was calling me somewhere and kept repeating, "I wasn't always like this." Suddenly, I felt water running down my face, and it was very cold. I turned around and realized I was standing in the middle of the forest. It was dark, raining heavily, and I was in just socks and a nightgown. I barely found my way back to the house. I wandered for hours. I think it has something to do with our today's investigation.
I am totally sure of that.
Hello. My name is Alina. I can't eat or even drink. I'm just dying, and it's happening quickly, and I don't understand why.
According to the doctors, Alina may live for another 3 to 4 years at most. This is so terrifying.
My name is Natalia. I'm her sister. She's the dearest person to me, and I can't imagine life without her. She's suffering, but doctors can do nothing about it.
Alina, can I hold your hand? Holding Alina's hand in mine, I had a vision. I saw her in a coffin. A girl approached her and closed the coffin lid. Someone wants her dead. It's worse than it seemed. Death could come for you very soon.
This is the worst thing ever. I can't even express it with words.
I want to live badly. I want to have children.
It's all right.
I hope so.
When I hugged you, I sensed someone else also hug you. It was clear that it was some kind of entity. It appeared quickly and disappeared just as quickly. I see a portrait, 2 people. They are of different genders. It's a young man.
My boyfriend.
This is the man who loves you madly.
I love him too.
But why are you all white?
Yes, I used to be blonde, but I dyed my hair later.
Alina realized what Sofia Litvinova was talking about. Here is the photo. It shows a happy couple, Alina and her fiancé, Denis.
Denise always supports and helps her.
Denis is currently working in Poland, doing construction works, as Alina's constant fourth nutrition costs about 800 hryvnias a day.
I constantly see the image of a strange ghost near you. It's transparent and chilling.
Sometimes it even feels like someone is sitting next to me.
You feel it in when you're home, don't you?
Yes, when I'm in my apartment, I hear footsteps, and I even hear doors knocking. Sometimes someone knocks on the door. I look through the peephole, but there's no one is there.
We need to see your place.
I invite you.
Thirteen.
And someone's death. It's somebody related to you by blood, Alina.
13 is the date of our younger sister's birth. She was 7 months old when she died.
She was born in June. On the 13th of June, 1985. I was 5 years old. And on January 24th, 1986, she was gone. I remember the photos of me holding her as a little girl.
Her spirit is crying, and she's afraid for you, Alina. She says, "Beware of the icy girl."
Are you unwell?
Yes. I feel dizzy, and it's like someone is constantly squeezing my throat.
Sounds like you're feeling what I always feel. I get dizzy. Sometimes it gets so bad that I can't see anything in front of me.
And the closer we are to your home, the stronger the feeling. Something is choking me, like it's attacking me from behind.
And my shoulders hurt a lot, even now. It feels like someone is sitting on my shoulders, and I can't shake them off. like I'm carrying someone.
It looks to be the entity. The entity I saw when we first met. And someone else hugged us.
Come in.
Over here. It feels like a magnet is pulling me. Someone tried to kill you here.
I heard it at night. Someone got up from my room and went to the kitchen. And then I found the gas turned on. When I turned it off, I felt dizzy for a whole week. I was poisoned by the gas.
This entity has a clear goal, your death. By any means. May I go into that room?
Of course, of course.
The spirit is showing me a cross and a gray bird.
There's a bird on Mom's gravestone at the cemetery.
Your mother's spirit is here.
Alina and Natalia's mother passed away 5 years ago from cancer.
Hellish pain. I'm feeling her death.
I saw Mom suffer. In the end, she simply prayed to die sooner.
For some reason, your mother feels resentment towards you, Alina. My God, I can't breathe.
Water. Water. Water.
The clairvoyant doesn't open her eyes. It takes a long time to bring her back to consciousness.
A terrible scream. I heard a woman scream, and then something started choking me. I couldn't understand who the woman was. Could it have been the sister's mother? I began to suspect that she could be pulling her daughter to the other side.
Listen, I heard something crash.
Mom's photo fell.
When Anna Galliers lost consciousness, the portrait of the mother fell. But what does all this mean?
Does the photo often fall?
The glass breaks whenever we put it in the frame. That's why it's without glass. On the 40th day after she was gone, we went to commemorate her, and when we came back home, I took the photo, kissed Mom, and immediately saw cracks all over the glass. We replaced it the next day, but it cracked again. A month later, we replaced the glass again, and it cracked once more. The cracks appear right before our eyes.
Did she want to say something with this?
Her spirit can't say anything here. She constantly shows me the bird on her grave. We need to go to the cemetery where your mother is buried.
I'm shivering and cold. I'm cold all the time.
Here it is, the gray bird from my vision.
You didn't tell us all? What happened?
We didn't get to say a proper goodbye to Mom. People approached her coffin to their goodbyes. We also came up, but while I turned away, they closed the lid and started sealing it. I started shouting, "Wait! I haven't said goodbye yet!" Of course, no one listened. I really hope she's not angry with me.
But that's not why she's upset with you.
I want to see her, hug her, tell her how much I love her, but I can't.
Alina, she loves you too and says she's upset because you wanted to kill yourself.
Yes. I had thoughts of ending my life. I just don't know what will happen next. My life has turned upside down. I'm scared. I'm hungry all the time, but I can't eat.
Life is the most precious gift from God. Neglecting it is a great sin, especially attempting to end it. The spirit of the woman is trying to give us a clue about who is really killing her daughter. The spirit of your mother says, beware of the ice girl.
And the cracked glass on her portrait is also a sign. The mother is trying in every possible way to warn her daughter about the mortal danger. Her spirit suffers because she can't protect her.
The thing is that the entity was deliberately tormenting Alina. The goal the entity followed was for her to die in agony. But why?
There's a chill running through my legs, through my arms. I'm freezing, even though I'm dressed in warm clothes.
Someone's breathing in my ear.
She's standing behind you, Alina. The young woman with icy eyes and frost on her eyelashes.
Cold breath. Someone is blowing cold air into my ear. I even turned around and saw someone standing on my left side.
And she says, I haven't always been like that.
I'm constantly cold and shaking. It's so cold. No matter how well I wrap up.
She dissolved into the air. Who is she? I still don't understand why she's following you. But first we need to deal with the spirit of your mother. Let's release her.
Goodbye. I love you so much. You're in my heart forever. Forgive me. Forgive me. Please forgive me if you can. I love you.
We've got to go.
I see the building where you live, and right next to it, there's the girl with white hair and frosty eyelashes. Oh my God, she's over there.
I can't walk. Honestly, I can't walk. My legs feel like iron. My each leg feels like it weighs 50 kilograms. I can't even lift it.
My God, your legs seem to be frozen solid. It's horrible. Guys, she's paralyzed. Someone help carry Alina to the van.
One of the cameramen lifts Alina in his arms. She can't walk. The situation is extremely tense.
My God.
The icy entity has appeared again. She's here and she wants you dead. My God, it's so horrible.
The clairvoyance whispered something for a long time. Finally, Alina feels a bit better, and everyone heads to her home.
The heaviness is gone, but the cold won't go.
Pull over. Pull over.
Someone unwell?
That way.
What happened?
I say, quick, pull over.
She saw something. Anna, where are you going?
Everyone is shocked. What is Anna Galliers feeling, and where is she going?
She's calling me, repeating, I wasn't always like this.
The psychic doesn't stop and keeps running into the woods as fast as she can. Before the investigation began, Anna Galliers mentioned a vision, after which she mysteriously ended up in the forest, and now she's rushing there again.
Watch out, there's a river there.
She's calling me again. She's standing right in front of me. The young woman's spirit, the white eyelashes and the glassy look. She points at you, Alina, and calls you a traitor.
Everyone is shocked. Who is the clairvoyant talking about? What do her words mean?
This girl walks through the forest, constantly repeating your name. Did you abandon her?
We hung out together at a local club, and then we took a taxi home and she stayed behind. Then she walked to my place. She walked through the forest and froze. I had a friend who died. She froze in the forest while walking to my home.
She ended up in the forest because of you, Alina. You left her in some place, but why? Because I hear you say, let's go together. You can stay at mine, right?
Yes, I understand. We were supposed to go together, but we left in the taxi and she stayed there alone.
And she didn't know what to do because she had no money, so she had to walk through the forest on foot. And she got lost.
It happened 4.5 years ago. Alina's friend was found right at this spot where the clairvoyant is now standing. The young woman was dead.
They found her with her eyes open, and there was fear on her face. I can't imagine what she went through. When I found out, I sat motionless for 3 days, looking at her photo and weeping.
You left her alone despite you told her you'd take her home with you.
The young woman lived 100 kilometers from here. She came to visit Alina. In the evening, they gathered a party of friends and went to a nightclub.
They partied and then left her alone. They all took a taxi and she left the nightclub on foot in winter and walked through the forest. She froze, and they found her the next day.
At that time, Alina was in a relationship. Enthralled by her feelings, she completely forgot about her friend and went home with her boyfriend. She had no idea that her carelessness would be fatal for her friend.
She considers you a traitor. She hated you for abandoning her. And it was after her death that everything went wrong for you.
Alina recalls that the very next morning after her friend's funeral, she couldn't swallow a single piece of food.
Her spirit is bound to you, seeking revenge, and you can only detach it by yourself. Visit her grave and ask her for forgiveness. She will hear you.
This is very good.
Also go to church and pray for her.
Thank you so much. God bless you for helping people. I am so grateful to you.
A mysterious force causes a young boy's bones to break. Where did this deadly curse come from? Don't miss out. The psychics will expose a female killer. In this family photo, you can see a smiling and joyful Vova Bazuk with his mother, Nadia, and father, Mykola. Here, the boy is 4 years old, but half a year later, a terrifying event would turn their lives upside down.
He broke his leg in the summer, and after that, it all started. Very frequent fractures. He often breaks his arms, and his legs are constantly in a cast. It's so awful.
He was a healthy and active child until he turned 4.5.
The boy suffered 30 fractures in just a year, though he had been perfectly healthy before. He went to school, played with friends, and loved soccer.
Vova is a very cheerful person.
He loved riding his bike and running.
However, in the last 3 years, Vova has not attended school, and for the past year, he hasn't even been able to get out of his wheelchair.
Now I have to use this wheelchair all the time, but I'm used to it. Both my legs are completely in casts.
At 12, Vova has endured unthinkable pain and suffering. His bones crumble even when he simply stands up. They can't withstand his body weight.
He tries to stay strong, but you can see the sadness in his eyes.
The doctors say the boy's bones are brittle due to a severe collagen protein deficiency. His body suddenly stopped producing it. However, the cause remains a mystery. His mother has taken him to countless doctors across Ukraine.
The doctors don't fully understand what's happening to him. They can't provide a definitive diagnosis.
They suggested we consult a geneticist and professors.
The geneticists say Vova's condition resembles the so-called crystal disease. However, some aspects of the diagnosis don't add up.
Crystal disease is inherited from generation to generation. It cannot be acquired.
But there is no history of crystal disease in Vova's family, neither on his mother's nor his father's side. Additionally, Vova didn't start showing symptoms at birth, but only at the age of 5.
This disease can occur spontaneously. There must be some predisposing factors.
But what follows is even stranger. The parents notice that before each fracture, the boy sees a black shadow.
I saw something black in the dark. Just a black shadow, and I heard creaking sounds.
But nobody knows whose shadow it is or why it appears near the boy.
A long and dark period began. There must be a reason behind this.
My dream is to stand on my feet again and be able to run and play soccer like I used to.
Vova's parents suspect that the cause of his condition is mystical, and only psychics can uncover the truth.
Dear psychics, I would like to ask for your help. I understand you're not doctors, but maybe you can help us understand what's causing this.
Our project's experts, Yaroslava Fedorova, Anna Galiers, agreed to help Vova.
I saw a woman in black. I was sleeping and I suddenly woke up to an icy breath. I saw a female silhouette. I wanted to get a better look, but the room was dark. Something was shining on her neck.
It's a key.
What makes you think it's a key?
Because she visited me earlier today. She said nothing. She just stood there and left. But she had an old key on her neck.
That woman is definitely connected to our today's investigation.
A few hours later, the psychics arrive in the town where the boy lives. They find Vova and his mother out for a walk.
Hello. I really want you to help us.
Give me your hand, please, dear. You're a very brave boy.
Pick one card. Any one. It's the father card. It's reversed. What about the father? There's a cross on him.
Vasya and I are divorced.
And who is the man living with you now?
He's my second husband. He's like a real father to Vova.
Dad Mikola is better to me than my father.
When I first met Nadia, Vova started calling me Dad right away. It made me happy.
Nadia and her second husband have children together, and they're all healthy. The problem is only with the child from her first marriage. It seems we should look for answers in the first husband of Vasya.
At just 16, Nadia married Vasya, her friend's older brother.
He said, "Grab your passport and let's go to the council to register our marriage." Well, I was just 16. I didn't tell my mom anything. I just grabbed my passport and went.
It was a shock for me.
The young couple had a lavish wedding, and a year later, their first child, Vova, was born. However, their marriage was short-lived. The man left his wife and son.
He was unfaithful. He cheated on Nadia. They got divorced after that.
He rarely visits. He might not even show up on Vova's birthday.
With no history of genetic bone diseases in the family of the boy's biological father, the question arises, where did Vova's condition come from?
The card of retribution. Your child is paying the price. Pick the next card. A child whose life is upside down, and there's a woman who destroyed his life. He's paying for a lost child.
I see a boy looking like your son. They have the same blood flowing through their veins.
When I was about to marry my first husband, his second cousin met me and said, "Do you know he has a girlfriend? She's pregnant with his child and is in the hospital."
The news of her fiancé's infidelity caught Nadia off guard just before their wedding. However, despite the revelation, she didn't find the courage to call off the engagement and went ahead with the marriage.
On the day of your wedding, the abandoned woman shed bitter tears.
She gave birth to a boy on our wedding day. He looks like Vova.
Giving birth the boy, she cursed her husband and his future family.
A curse sent by a pregnant woman has double the power, and it will definitely influence someone in the family.
Before the wedding, her friend came to me and said, "You'll see what happens."
We need to meet your husband's first girlfriend.
This is Ira, and Nadia, along with the psychics, is heading to her place. They leave Vova with his father, Mikola. Shortly after, they arrive at Ira's.
Ira, please come out for a moment.
Hello?
Vasa was my first husband.
And what do you want from me?
The woman who did everything to destroy is connected to Vasya. A knife in your back.
No, I wouldn't wish any harm. I have children myself.
Try to recall. Did you wish Nadia ill or curse her so her child would suffer like yours would without a father? This is very important. A child's life is at stake.
No, I didn't curse her, but I did feel upset.
Ira lied. I could feel that she sent curses towards Vasya and Nadia.
Eventually, Ira did confess.
I found out he had someone else when I was 4 months pregnant. I cursed him and envied Nadia that he married her. But now, I'm sorry for what happened to her.
Ira wished for harm, but not to the child. She just wanted Nadia and Vasya to break up, and her wish came true because the family fell apart so quickly. I hope you'll reconcile, and your children will communicate.
And the brothers met the very next day.
I'm so happy to have another brother. We'll keep in touch.
Joy. I'm crying with joy.
Ira wasn't responsible for what was happening to Nadia's son, but my guide still insisted we needed to find a woman.
The woman standing behind you, she shares the cross of your sick child. The person who stabbed you in the back is connected to Vasya, your husband. Who is she?
My sister.
Okay, and what's her connection to Vasya?
They had an affair.
A shocking revelation. It turns out Nadia's younger sister was her husband's mistress, and it was because of her that the couple divorced.
What kind of person do you have to be to steal a man from her own sister?
It caused me so much pain.
We need to see your sister.
Oksana, Nadia's 28-year-old sister, still lives under the same roof as her sister, mother, and grandmother. This is also where Nadia's current husband and their children reside.
Oksana, come here.
Hello?
How could you do this to your sister? You're the boy's godmother. I see that, and you swore before God to take care of him. But instead, you deprived him of his father.
After Nadia got married, her husband started coming on to me. I told Mom, but she didn't believe me.
And what was next?
Oksana confessed off camera that she lost her virginity to her sister's husband, Vasya, when she was only 14. He allegedly raped her. Yet, she continued to see him until Nadia eventually found it out.
I knew something was up, but Mom told me I was imagining things.
Finally, Vasya took Oksana with him to work in the Czech Republic, away from his wife and young son, and they started living together.
She came back from the Czech Republic and said, "You know, I'm pregnant by him."
The news of her sister's pregnancy by her husband devastated Nadia. She didn't want to live.
I didn't want this life. I took pills, but it didn't work.
Are you trying to say you wanted to end your life?
Yes. Because of this life.
Vasya nursed his wife back to health after her poisoning, but he never expected his mistress to attempt suicide as well.
She got very jealous and also took pills. She ended up in the intensive care, but they saved her.
This is horrifying. The sisters couldn't share a man, and both tried to take their own lives. Meanwhile, Vasya went back to the Czech Republic to escape the drama.
Do you understand that this could have affected your nephew? In every way.
I didn't know it could be like this.
This is just incomprehensible.
I didn't touch him. He came to me.
Couldn't you just say no?
Where are you going? Stay here. I understand that you're in pain.
Why are the cameras here?
I want to help my child walk again.
I want it too.
Repent, and half of this child's trouble will be gone. Do you understand?
Vova is like my own son since I raised him from a young age.
Something else didn't add up. Oksana destroyed her family when Vova was 2 years old, and his bone problems started a couple of years later. It seems there's another reason for this. This whole situation, this history, is preventing you from having your own family. Do you understand this?
She's just at a dead end.
After the story with her sister's husband, Oksana became withdrawn. She didn't create her own family and doesn't work anywhere.
Oksana has paid for her sin with loneliness. She has no husband and no children. Of course, she's doing the right thing by taking care of her nephew. But that's not enough. She needs to repent for her sins and make peace with her sister.
Despite all the suffering she's caused, Oksana has a good heart.
She's like a second mother to Vova. She's dedicated her life to him.
It was a mistake, and if you ask for forgiveness, you will be forgiven.
The woman with the key is calling me. I don't understand what she wants. It's as if we've missed something crucial.
Your child is paying for a child whose life has been turned upside down.
I don't understand. Which child?
And what does the woman with the key have to do with this?
Come here, quick.
Oh, my dear God.
Look, keys.
We started talking about the mysterious woman, and suddenly the keys fell from nowhere.
There's a spirit of a little boy of about 5. He threw the keys. Have you buried a child?
What's wrong with his face?
It's horrible. The boy's face is terribly disfigured.
Anna, what is it? What's happening?
The medium is behaving strangely, not responding to questions. She goes out of the house.
She looked like a spirit possessed her.
Anna.
I must kill him.
This is terrifying. The clairvoyant is finally intercepted and forcibly taken back inside.
I didn't understand what was happening to me. My body was taken over by the woman with the key. For some reason, she wanted to kill Vova.
Quiet. Hurry, pour it out at the threshold. Why does that woman with the key want Vova? Who is she, after all? And who is the child who threw the house keys on the floor?
Finally, Anna regains consciousness.
Did you see that woman with the keys too? She said she hated you all. She was the first owner of this house.
My grandmother inherited the house. Later, she bequeathed it to my mother.
No, that woman built this house.
She wasn't related to us.
It turned out that Nadia's great-grandmother passed away young. Her great-grandfather became a widower with 3 children, and then he remarried a woman with an unusual name, Teodolfia. She built this house, and it has been passed down from generation to generation.
That woman seeks revenge. She says you are murderers. The life of a child is on your conscience.
I feel a chill down my spine.
I feel the heat.
I'm feeling hot, but at the same time cold.
This is shocking. Are these people murderers? But who did they kill, and why? Could this be the reason for little Vova's suffering?
You killed her son. The son of the woman with the keys who built this house.
What about the boy with the burned face?
My great-grandmother said her son got burned and died.
It turned out that Teodolfia had a son. One day, she went to her neighbor's house, leaving the boy with her 12-year-old stepdaughter, Nadia's great-grandmother. When she returned home, she found her little boy dead in a pot of boiling lard. How he got there remains a mystery to this day.
Without photos of those people, I can't say what really happened. Whether the boy fell into the pot himself or was pushed by his stepsister. Either way, his mother accused the girl, Nadia's great-grandmother, of murder.
The spirit of the woman has been seeking revenge for her son all this time. She specifically wants to kill a boy. And Vova is the first boy born after that tragedy in this family. We must leave this place. Your son started getting sick at the same age that the owner of the house's son died. Around 5 years old.
Yes.
But why does Vova have problems with his legs?
Because she screamed, "May none of you be able to walk on the ground with your legs."
So it was a curse?
Yes. We need to lift the ancestral curse from you. And then we'll try to do something about the house.
But you should continue his treatment. We can't restore the boy's health, but after the ritual, the treatment should improve your son's condition.
I would be so grateful.
The magical ritual lasted for about an hour. The clairvoyants banished the evil spirit of the former owner of the house, lifted the curse, and placed a protective spell on the boy.
Anna and I put protection on all the boys in Nadia's family, and we tried to stop Vova's illness. However, we couldn't heal him completely, unfortunately.
Dear clairvoyants, we are genuinely grateful. We bow to you.
Thank you.
You are a very good boy. We wish you good health.
Thank you.
The psychics did everything they could to stop the curse. After the next examination, the doctors gave the boy hope of walking. A mysterious death of a pregnant woman and her baby. What mystical force dragged the poor souls to the other world? And what does the Ghost Rider have to do with it? Find out right now. One of the most emotional investigations of the season. This woman's name is Inna. She lives in a small Ukrainian village. She works as a paramedic. Inna dedicated her entire life to raising her daughter, Nastya.
Nastia's father, he died. He developed a drinking problem in his final years.
Nastia's father drank himself to death, so her mother raised her alone. When Nastia grew up, she became a true beauty. After graduating from school, she moved to the city, became a hairdresser, and worked in a beauty salon. She eventually met a decent young man named Andrei. After they got married, she became pregnant.
Nastia was on cloud 9 when she was pregnant. She had a great husband, and her pregnancy was going well.
It seemed like Nastia had everything a woman could dream of. A loving husband, a home filled with happiness, and soon, her first child.
They would go to stores to look at cribs. They were getting ready, and they were even choosing names together.
They were preparing the bedroom. They wanted to renovate their apartment before the baby was born.
Nastya didn't quit her job and worked at the beauty salon until the last months of her pregnancy.
Everyone told her to go on maternity leave, but she insisted on working.
I always told her, Nastya, sit down. But no, she would be on the go all the time and wouldn't rest a minute.
Nastya's friend Natalia works as a cosmetologist at the same beauty salon. She used to study to become a gynecologist, so she often consulted the expectant mother about the pregnancy.
She always said she felt all right and never complained about anything.
But a month before the due date, Nastya suddenly fell unwell. It was a Thursday, and she had just arrived at work.
I asked, Nastya, are you okay? She said she felt pain in her abdomen. I told her it shouldn't hurt like that. I said, let's call a doctor. But she insisted she had just seen a doctor who assured her everything was fine.
However, Nastya later went back to the hospital. And no sooner had she made it through the door of the hospital than she fainted.
It was so shocking. She went to work in the morning, but was in the hospital by lunchtime.
They performed an emergency C-section, but unfortunately, the baby had already died.
The baby died due to Nastya's dangerously high blood pressure, which stopped the child's heart.
On her way to the hospital, Nastya called her husband and complained about the pain. Andrei was on a business trip not far from the city. He dropped everything and rushed home. He still can't talk about that awful day. After all, he lost his dearest people in the world, his beloved wife and their long-awaited son.
He died, and Nastya, she had this tube for artificial respiration in her mouth, and she couldn't speak. She pointed to her stomach with her hand and mumbled, "Where?" And I said, "The doctors are taking care of him. Everything will be all right."
Inna never found the courage to tell her daughter her son had died.
He was buried while she was still in the hospital.
3 days after the delivery, Nastya fell into a coma. Her critical condition and the baby's death were explained by a rare syndrome called HELLP, a late-onset toxemia. Relatives still can't understand why this happened. After all, the pregnancy was going without any issues.
We were all badly shocked.
I read online that it's an extremely rare condition that happens once per 100,000 pregnancies.
The syndrome suddenly arises during the last months of pregnancy, mainly in women giving birth for the first time. It involves increased blood pressure and impaired blood circulation in the placenta. As a result, the baby doesn't receive nutrients and oxygen and passes away. Even specialists who have studied this disease for many years can't yet determine the cause of its occurrence.
We can even hear the fetus's heartbeat, and there's movement. But unfortunately, within 2 or 3 days, such an outcome can occur for the fetus.
2 or 3 days, but not a couple of hours. Besides, Nastya underwent regular checkups and was even seen by a doctor on the day of the tragedy.
Andrei was desperately hoping that the doctors would save his wife.
However, Nastya's vital organs began to fail one by one, and the doctors couldn't save her. Eventually, the young woman passed away.
Seeing her clothes breaks my heart. I haven't washed anything after that. They still smell like Nastya's perfume.
Nastya's death was like a ton of bricks falling on all of us.
She passed away on the 9th day after the baby. It's unimaginable.
Andrei cried, saying, "I can't believe they're both gone."
When you expect that your wife gives birth to a baby, but instead you end up with 2 coffins. This is horrendous.
He lost all the meaning in life.
Nastya's family has no doubt that it wasn't a mere accident.
It's impossible that so much grief befalls a single family.
Especially since the night before Nastya was admitted to the hospital, her mother had a terrifying dream.
I was walking in a dense forest, carrying a baby in my arms. And then I heard the snapping of branches and pine needles. I heard a wolf's voice, growling, and the thumping of paws. Someone was being torn apart. Suddenly a black cloud descended upon me, blocking out the sun. It became dark. That's when I thought something might happen to Nastya.
And the next day, Ina's daughter ended up in the hospital.
We need to know the cause. Why did she and the baby pass away?
Angelina is Nastya's elder sister. She is married and has a daughter, Sofia. She also had problems when giving birth, but she still can't wrap her head around what happened to Nastya. Psychics Olena Kurilova and Sofia Litvinova step in to investigate the enigmatic sudden death of the young mother and her baby.
When I looked at the photo, I had a vision of a woman so gaunt that she looked like a skeleton. However, it wasn't Nastya. She was holding a dead infant. The baby was torn to pieces, as if torn apart by a pack of dogs. The woman tried to say something to me, but she didn't have the strength to utter a word.
I asked the higher powers why this happened. Why did the young woman die? And they showed me a severed head, a bloody human head on a platter. And a girl of around 12 was running around it. She had a small mirror in her hands, and she was making sunlight reflections with it. But what does this mean?
I had a dream. In it, I woke up to the roar of a motorcycle engine and saw a motorcyclist. He told me, "My death is a payback. You must hurry." I feel like the events are unfolding further. There might be more deaths to come, one after another.
The psychics arrive at the home where the happy Nastya and Andriy awaited the birth of their first child not so long ago.
Hello.
Hello.
My name's Ina.
Are you Andriy?
Yes, the husband.
I see the letter K. Did anyone whose name starts with a K die?
The baby, his name was Kirilo.
The baby was still in his mother's womb, but the parents already knew their boy's name would be Kirilo.
I feel that the name somehow influenced the boy's fate. And when I saw the letter K, it doubled. There must be another dead child in their family with that name.
Grandma had twins, Lev and Kirilo. My grandmother.
As it turned out, the grandmother's twins also died during the delivery.
Everyone knows that naming children after the deceased is not recommended, because the child might repeat the deceased person's fate. The name Kirilo indeed influenced the baby's fate, but it doesn't explain the mother's death. You met when she was still very young. She was your first, true, and only love.
I fell in love with her at the first glance.
Those huge brown eyes.
Her eyes were mesmerizing. There was something extraordinary and magical about them.
They started dating when she was still in school. He was her first love, and she married him in the end.
The couple got married when Nastya turned 19. Andriy's parents bought the young couple an apartment in the city as a wedding present. The young man personally renovated the place and brought his young wife to their new home.
She would call me and say, "Mom, Andriy bought me this or that." Rings, necklaces, earrings, beautiful things like that.
Andriy was building his career and tried to provide his beautiful wife with everything she needed.
She did her best to keep herself in shape and was merciless to herself. a tighter belt, and not eating too much. And she did all this so everyone would envy you and admire your beautiful wife. She loved you so much. Tell me, why do I sense that her body was poisoned by some strong substance? There's poison in her body.
The cause of Nastia's death was intoxication, which, in simple terms, is poisoning. Perhaps this is what the psychic is referring to.
They said an infection started when the fetus died.
It takes a few days of a baby decomposing in the womb for toxic substances to appear and start poisoning the mother. But Nastia had seen a doctor that morning.
If the doctors made a mistake, it will be on their conscience. What do you see?
She's little. Like I see her from afar.
Is it a woman?
A little girl. She shows me a stroller, a crib, and a house. Find the house. So, it's not an apartment building. Did you live in a house?
Yes. Our village is about a 20-minute drive from here.
I recognized her. She was the same little girl from my vision yesterday. She showed me the human head on a platter. Let's go there. That's where the answer lies, I think.
The psychics arrive at the family's old house inn after dark, but they continue working.
Can I come in?
Sure.
Something terrible happened here. The earth is soaked with the maternal grief of a woman who ate her own flesh. I see the dismembered body of a child. The woman ate her own child.
Dear God.
Do you know who I'm talking about? She knocks on every door asking for bread. And a man, your blood relative, throws her out. You weren't born yet.
She extends her thin arms.
She looks, but her baby is not breathing.
I have goosebumps all over my body.
There were indeed cases of cannibalism during the Holodomor of the 1930s in this village. The people who survived are no longer alive. However, our journalists did find a woman whose entire family, except for 4 children, perished in the famine.
Her mother had 11 children. 4 survived, all the rest died in the famine.
Katerina Radchenko wasn't born yet, but she still can't forget the story her mother told her about a village woman who, driven by hunger, ate her own baby.
In the evening, she lay with her baby, and in the morning they found her, but the baby was gone. She had eaten her.
She condemned herself for the rest of her days. May God forgive her. We didn't live in those times.
This is simply horrifying to think about what people, driven to madness by hunger, had to go through. But how is this story connected to Nastia and her baby's death?
The woman from my vision kept repeating, "It killed us." She was talking about the hunger. The hunger killed her and her baby. And Nastia's death is also somehow linked to starvation.
Nastia's blood was like water in her veins. Didn't she eat properly? Or what was it?
She dieted. She induced vomiting.
It's unimaginable. Did she starve herself when she was pregnant?
During the entire pregnancy, she would run up to me, show me her butt, and shout that it was too big and that she needed to do something about it.
Her greatest fear was to gain weight and lose her shape. She refused to eat.
But you didn't know about it.
I noticed she had lost weight. I even had a word with Andrei about it, but he said he liked her like that.
This is called anorexia.
Nastia's starvation added fuel to the fire. Her and her baby's death were part of some karmic program. By refusing to eat, she essentially deprived herself of the strength and resources to fight for her life.
In the case of anorexia, when a woman's body has already exhausted all its reserves, sooner or later, a tragic outcome is inevitable.
Can we get inside?
Of course.
The vision of the severed head on a platter wouldn't leave my mind. Whose head was that? And who was the little girl running around it with a mirror?
Olena, did you see it? Someone entered.
I didn't see.
God. Olena!
Sophia, where are you going?
What happened? Why did the psychic run out of the house like a bullet?
Olena, do you hear that? A motorcycle engine.
A motorcycle.
There he is.
Sophia, where are you going?
A moment. There on the motorcycle. Do you see him? A young man. I feel sick. He rode straight at me. He hit me with his motorcycle. It was the same motorcyclist who woke me up the day before the investigation. I woke up to the roar of a motorcycle. The spirit rushed past me. He shouted, "He died because of me. Nastia's child died because of me."
Does this mean it all happened because of my brother?
Did you have a brother?
Yes, I did. He crashed on his motorcycle.
As it turned out, Ina did have an elder brother, Ivan, who died at the age of 20. Ina was in high school at the time, but how could the dead young man be connected to Nastia and her baby's death?
I hear fighting and screaming. It's you and your brother.
He beat me.
Why?
Over a mirror. I had powder then. He asked me for the mirror from there. He needed it for his motorcycle.
But you refused.
I did. And he started punching me violently.
And he died a few hours after that fight.
Yes.
The little girl running around the severed head with a mirror in her hands was Ina herself. The mirror she used to make sunlight reflections was the same one her brother beat her for. And then I understood whose head was on the platter. Did it happen on a church holiday?
Beheading of St. John the Baptist.
Oh my goodness, may God have mercy.
It was the head of John the Baptist. What happened to Nastia and her baby is connected to the date of his beheading.
John the Baptist was executed thousands of years ago on the same day Ina's brother died. The legend has it that his head was cut off. People say that on this date you should not use a knife and/or touch any circular objects that resemble a human head in shape. Fighting is also prohibited, especially hitting your own sister on the head because of a round mirror.
On this holiday, everything circular has a mystical significance, especially a mirror. Your brother did something unforgivable on this holy day. He beat his own sister to the point of drawing blood.
My nose was bruised and I had a black eye.
But how could this affect the death of Nastia and the unborn Kirilo?
Wait, Ina, tell me one thing. Did you curse him?
He beat me, and I cried, but did nothing. And then I looked at him, and he turned pale as clay. He said, "Go ahead, look, you're seeing me for the last time."
You experienced an internal offense. You know, an unconscious curse. And now, there's a curse on the boys in your family. If it had been a girl, she would have been born.
The first boy.
You need to perform a karmic ritual for your family. Go to 7 churches and light candles in front of the icon of Virgin Mary, asking her for the continuation of your family line. On the day of St. John's beheading, repeat the same ritual, but in 3 churches.
I am so grateful to you.